What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I am very excited to bring you guys some Call of Duty Ghosts Safeguard gameplay. So Infinity Ward was nice enough to invite Tom, our syndicate, and I out a few days ago to play the game a little bit early, record some, and that's why I can bring you guys this video. So big thank you to them. I really do appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, yeah, so we're playing Safeguard today, and if you guys don't know what Safeguard is, it's one of the new modes in the squad section of the game, and it's very, very similar to survival mode from Modern Warfare 3 if you guys ever played that, except it's got some differences, and I think it's more fun. But anyway, so yeah, you and up to 3 other teammates, so up to 4 people total, are dropped on a multiplayer map, and you have to fight off waves of increasingly difficult enemies that come running at you, shooting at you, throwing nades at you, things like that, and you have to use a lot of different tactics and strategies to try to stay alive, because the enemies are constantly changing, and they're, changing up the way that they're approaching you. It starts off as they're guys in street clothes that don't have any armor on, and they're super easy to kill, and then it moves on to guys that start getting more armor. Some of them are in these big like bomb squad or juggernaut suits where they're very, very tough to kill. Some of them have grenade launchers, others just have LMGs. There's dogs that will run around that are very small and fast and kind of harder to hit, and it's just it's crazy. The enemies are always constantly changing on you, so you constantly have to be switching your strategy. Now one thing I also noticed is that it's very, very easy to go down. Like, it kind of surprised me how quickly you'll go down. Like, you don't have a lot of health. It's a little bit more than regular multiplayer health, but it's not a lot. Like, if you're getting shot by a couple of guys at the same time, you're gonna go down pretty quickly. Like, you have to be very smart about this. You can't run out in the open. You have to be strategic, use cover, try to stay inside, or you try to just use kind of the environment to your advantage. You can't be like a chicken with your head cut off, which is something kind of cool. It adds more strategy to the game. You have to really think strategically about what your next move is gonna be, what part of the map you want to move to, and things like that. Now, in terms of basic gameplay mechanics, you start off with a loot round, and then also loot rounds will show up randomly throughout the rest of the game. And what this is it drops a ton of different care packages on the map that have score streaks in them, and you have to run around. I think you have like 25 or 30 seconds to pick up as many as you can. Now, you can only hold up to 3 score streaks at one time. So one tip I've got for you guys is if you're in a loot round, and if you have any like sentry guns or IMSs or anything like that in your inventory, place those things down and then go pick up other things like choppers or heli snipers or things like that you can't place down, and then go back after the loot round and move your sentry guns or your IMSs, whatever else, to where you actually want them. That's how you can kind of make the most of the loot round. And then also make sure you're communicating with your teammates. Like, that's something Syndicate and I weren't really doing that well. Sometimes we would find ourselves going for the same care package. Like, you want to split it up, you want to call out which part of the map you're going to be picking up the care packages on, and that way the most people can get the most score streaks, and you guys can survive the longest. So that's pretty important. Now, another super important kind of dynamic of this game mode is leveling up your weapon. Now, I actually had another Safeguard video that I put out a few days ago where I kind of talked about this a little bit, but I have more information about it now. Up in the top left part of your screen, the white number is your weapon level. So you start off at level 1, and then you can progress, getting your level up to, I believe it'd be unlimited. Like, I don't think there's a limit on how high you can get your weapon. And as you rank up your weapon more and you get it to higher levels, it gets more and more damage. So with each level, you gain damage with that weapon. And obviously that's very important, because as you get to the higher rounds, the enemies are going to have more and more health. So you want to rank up your damage and keep ranking up your weapon to be able to compete with them and make sure you don't fall behind. Now, there are 2 ways that you can rank up your weapon. So one is to do damage to enemies with that weapon. Just getting hit markers, getting kills, things like that. That's going to increase your weapon XP bar, which is the blue bar underneath the weapon. And once that gets all the way full, it'll rank the weapon up to the next one, and then you can continue on trying to fill up that blue bar. Now, another way that you can rank up your weapon are kind of like the power-up things that enemies will drop from time to time. So, as you can see right here, this little red circle type thing with the star in it is actually going to rank up your weapon by 1 level. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at in your progression bar, it's going to rank it up 1 level entirely, which is very useful. And it does it to the weapon that you have in your hands when you pick up that item. So, that automatically increases your weapon damage, and that can be very useful as well. There's also another type of power-up type thing like that you can pick up, and that has some bullets in it. You know, you can see the bullets, and what that does is it restocks all your ammo for the team. So obviously that's pretty useful as well. But anyway, yeah, ranking up your weapon is very, very important, especially if you want to get to the higher rounds. I'm actually going to have a more kind of detailed video about this, probably coming tomorrow or maybe even later today, because I was using USR Sniper, and it really shows how important ranking up your weapon is, and talking about some strategies and things like that. But yeah, so ranking up your weapon, very important. Now, next up, I wanted to talk about supply drops. So when you fill out the supply drop bar, which is the white bar underneath the blue weapon level bar, that's going to call on a supply drop where there's going to be quite a few care packages that are randomly dropped throughout the map that will contain one of two things. It's either a new weapon or a new perk. So you can go and you can switch out your weapon and get a new weapon, or you can go and you can pick up a perk, and I think you can hold up to like 7 or 8 perks at one time. So, you know, obviously perks are going to be very useful. Sleight of hand is an absolute must in this mode. But one interesting thing about these supply drops is that you can re-roll the care packages. So let's say you go up to a care package and it's got a gun that you don't want. You can re-roll it by double tapping X or square or F, and then it'll give you a new randomly selected weapon or perk. Now, if you still don't like what's there, you can actually re-roll it a second time, and then it's going to give you an ammo resupply. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, you can switch it up if you want, you can get a new perk if you want, but if you're running low on ammo, which will happen a lot in this game mode because ammo can be pretty scarce, especially when you start getting up in the levels, then you can choose to forego getting a new perk or getting a new weapon and choose to actually get ammo. Like, that's always an option available to you, and that's really, really useful. Like, you're kind of making a sacrifice, but it could work out in the long run. You know, again, it's a strategy type thing. Like, you got to think about what weapons you want to rank up, and you know, if you want ammo or if you want a new perk, you know, whatever it is. So there's a lot of different things that you can change about your gameplay every single time you play this mode that really make it a lot of fun. Now, next up, I want to talk about the field orders. So occasionally on certain rounds, you'll get a field order challenge down in the bottom left part of your screen. As you can see in this screenshot right here, it says that our team, Tom and I, had to get 9 melee kills in this round. If you ever get one of these challenges, make sure that you do it, because if you complete the challenge, it's going to give your entire team a minigun with like 200 or 300 bullets in it, and it is extremely, extremely, extremely powerful. It's the same minigun that the Assault Juggernaut has, and it puts down enemies, you know, even in around like 20 or 25, it puts down enemies and just a couple of shots. Like, it's very, very, very good. So if you ever see any of those field orders, make sure you go for them, even if you have to go down, even if you have to risk losing the round, because getting that minigun is totally worth it. Now, one of the last things I wanted to mention to you guys in this video are the score streaks that you can have in this game mode. At least these are the ones that I've seen so far. So one is the IMS. We all know what that does. The second is the sentry gun. Again, we all know what that does. The third is the heli sniper. So this is where you go up into a helicopter. You've got a sniper. The sniper is a one-shot kill on, you know, anywhere on the enemy. So you can shoot him in the foot and it's going to kill him in one shot. So that's very, very useful. And then also, kind of like a secondary strategy with this kill streak, is if you're in a bind, you can call this thing in and it's going to take you out of that game and put you up into the chopper. So if you're getting surrounded by enemies and you're really weak and you're about to go down, call in this kill streak and it's going to be your lifeline. Like, it's going to pull you out of that situation. You're going to be able to snipe at them for quite a few seconds, take most of the guys out, and then come back down to the battlefield and you're going to be fully re-healed and good to go. So that's kind of like a secondary, you know, kind of benefit of using that kill streak. I want to make sure I told you guys about it because I was using it quite a bit. Next up, we've got the Trinity Rocket, which is kind of like a Predator missile, except you call it in and you get 2 kind of like heat-seeking rockets that you fire off. So you click the right trigger once to fire one, you click it again to fire another. You know, you kind of want to aim them at enemies. And then finally, the third one, you click for it to boost to the ground, just like the Predator missile did. One more kind of score streak you can have is the Battle Hind, which is just like an attack chopper that, you know, flies around on its own and kills enemies. And then finally, the last type of score streak you can have is the Vulture, which is a bi-rotor your companion drone that follows you around and will shoot enemies that are around you, that are close to you. So, yeah, those are the 6 different types of score streaks you can get. I would probably say in the loot rounds, focus on the heli snipers. Those are very, very useful, again, just because they can pull you out of sticky situations, and they're a one-shot kill, which is amazing. But then also, I think Trinity rockets probably my second favorite, because you have 3 rockets with that thing, and you can usually get multi-kills with each one, so that really adds up. So kind of focus on those, but just try to get as many kill streaks or as many score streaks as possible in those loot rounds, because they really help you get to those higher rounds. I think Tom and I only reached level 25. Like, we probably played through this 6 times or so, and the highest level we got was 25. So obviously this is a very, very difficult game mode. Like, it takes a lot of strategy. You don't have a lot of health, so you really have to play smart. And I can't wait to dig into it a little bit more once the game comes out, and I will be sure to bring you guys more videos. But anyway, there you guys have it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Safeguard mode. I think it's a pretty nice new addition. It's not going to be the thing that I play the most of, but I think it's pretty cool to be, you know, kind of something to switch it up if you don't want to play multiplayer or Extinction or something like that. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out one of the other 2 videos on the screen if you haven't seen them yet. Thanks for watching, guys. A bunch of great Ghost videos coming soon. Peace out.